A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. President Bola Tinubu has directed an immediate and comprehensive overhaul of national security strategy, demanding urgent action to end the escalating violence in Borno, Benue, Plateau, and Kwara states. Kikelomo Okere has details.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who met with the security chiefs at the State House in Abuja for more than 2 hours, says the killings of innocent people in Borno, Benue, and Plateau states must cease. The president, who spoke through the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, condemned the senseless targeting of innocent Nigerians. He therefore ordered a new approach to tackling the security problems.
Some of the challenges are more or less bordering on community problems. Not entirely everything is that, but of course it plays a significant role. You need to work with the communities, you need to work with the local governments, you need to work with the governors, especially the governors. President continue to direct that we should be doing that, and that's what we are able to. And we are very happy, very satisfied with the instructions and the directives given by Mr. President. He is so worried and concerned. He insisted that enough is enough, and we are working and to ensure that we restore peace and security.
The NSA says the attacker usually gets innocent citizens by planting improvised explosive device. He added that the president highlighted the need to involve the local councils and state government in tackling insecurity cases.
Mr. President is insisting and working so hard to ensure that we have peace, security, and stability in our country. We gave him what is going on, and we also assured him that work is ongoing and continuous.
The issue of insecurity often is not just at higher level, it involves subunits. The federal government reiterated its commitment in restoring peace and security in the country. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Benue State Executive Council has approved the sum of 2.3 billion naira for the remodeling of the government secondary school in the Hill community for the immediate take-off of the Benue State University of Agriculture, Science and Technology. Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Matthew Abbo, disclosed this while briefing newsmen on the outcome of the council meeting. Facility Ndere was there for Global Television.
It will be recalled that Benue State Executive Council had earlier ratified the proposal for the establishment of the Benue State University of Agriculture, Science and Technology (EU) with the mandate on the relevant stakeholders to liaise with the National Universities Commission and the State House of Assembly for procurement processes. Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism Matthew Abbo said the sum of 2.3 billion will be used for remodeling of the government secondary school (EU) for immediate take-off of the institution.
We have approved the award of contracts to the tune of 2,356,551 naira only. So this is the amount of money that we are going to use to do remodel government secondary school and do preliminary things in that school so that the university will now take off.
He explained that the establishment of government-owned tertiary institution in the Benue Northeast will ensure a balance with other zones of the state. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, Global TV News.
Governor Hope Uzodinma has announced a bold digital agenda for Imo State, aimed at boosting connectivity, innovation, and public service delivery. The announcement came at the 4th Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Summit of the Nigerian Computer Society held in Owerri, the Imo State capital.
The summit brought together experts, tech investors, and policymakers to explore how AI and robotics can drive inclusive economic growth. Speaking at the event, Governor Hope Uzodinma says Imo is bridging the digital divide with the deployment of 5G broadband and a statewide fiber optic network covering all 27 local government areas. He emphasized that the project will provide equal digital access across urban and rural communities.
Rolling out extensive fiber optic infrastructure and 5G broadband access across all local government areas in the state. This becomes very necessary because of our intention to close the digital divide between the urban and the rural communities.
Governor also announced a first-of-its-kind partnership between Imo State and the United States Market Access Center in Silicon Valley. The deal will establish innovation labs and offer mentorship to young tech entrepreneurs across the state.
The Imo Digital City is our flagship infrastructure project, a dedicated technology hub supported by a landmark $15 million partnership with the United States Market Access Center, USMAC, in Silicon Valley.
In his opening remarks, the president of Nigeria Computer Society, Dr. Mohammed Aliyu, says the summit is designed to promote digital transformation through knowledge exchange and collaboration.
Our aim is to provide a platform for stakeholders to explore the latest trend, innovation, and best practice in AI and robotics, with focus on strategies to drive socio-economic advancement and fostering digital inclusion.
From next-generation broadband to global tech collaborations, Imo State is building the future today. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
President Bola Tinubu has reassured the people of Benue of his devotion in protecting the lives and property of every citizen in upping the stake on security. The president, who spoke through the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, gave the stance when he paid a presidential visit to Governor Alia at the government house in Makurdi. Felicity Ndere completes the story.
Benue has come under attacks in recent past events, leading to the killings of over 70 persons with the destruction of farmlands and the displacement of thousands. The condolence visit is to interface with relevant stakeholders on ways to combating the lingering insecurity in the state. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, says the federal government will continue to demonstrate its resolve in ensuring the safety of all citizens.
I can assure you that steps will be taken to address this problem. There are many things that we have had, private briefing, and of course from the traditional rulers, that will require reinvigorated effort to address the problems.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, who described the devastation these attacks caused on human lives and property, reiterated that his administration will continue to collaborate with security agencies and the federal government to ensure the return of peace to the state.
We're happy that the president is set you to come see things for yourself. He has been very supportive, and it is my firm belief that this support will come.
Some traditional rulers in the 3 senatorial districts of the state, as well as the senator representing Benue Northeast, Emmanuel Udende, called on security agencies to redouble their efforts to end the pitiable situation that has crippled every facet of life, including their economy. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global TV News.
The chairman and chief executive officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, has reiterated the agency's call for mandatory drug tests for corps members, describing the initiative as a protective, not punitive measure. Speaking during a courtesy visit by the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier Olakunle Nafio, and senior NYSC officials to the NDLEA headquarters in Abuja. Marwa emphasized the urgent need to curb drug abuse among Nigerian youths. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi confirmed the visit. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, is currently locked in a high-level closed-door meeting with the leadership of key aviation unions, the permanent secretary and heads of aviation agencies in a bid to end the ongoing strike that has crippled operations in the aviation sector. The emergency talk comes in response to a nationwide industrial action that has disrupted airport operations, flight schedules, and other aviation services, leaving thousands of travelers stranded. Keyamo, who convened the meeting at short notice, has assured all parties of his commitment to resolving the issues raised by the unions. The founder of the Tubaba Foundation and renowned recording artist Innocent Idibia, popularly known as Two-Face, has announced plans to support internally displaced persons and other vulnerable groups in communities across Benue State. Tubaba revealed this during a courtesy visit to Governor Hyacinth Alia at the government house in Makurdi. Here is Felicity Ndere's report.
Innocent Idibia, known popularly as Two-Face, is a goodwill ambassador to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. In this role, he advocates for the rights of internally displaced persons, refugees, and other vulnerable groups, working in a collaboration with the government and international donors. The gesture being extended to the states by the Tubaba Foundation is an expression of his second face, a hand of fellowship to the needy in society.
For me, it's sad. We're going to do everything that we can to support the people that have been affected, and also to keep hammering and keep clamoring for support from the federal government to all well-meaning Nigerians as well, to lend their voices and lend their resources to help to prevent such things from continuing.
Head of Communications of the Foundation, Raymond Oteni, outlines areas of intervention.
He has established this foundation for a long time. Even though the campaign then was vote not fight, he believed that good governance will bring everything we need to love ourselves. But this new phase that he's turning 50 allows him to now do things like to visit vulnerable communities, support them with health, infrastructure or amenities, provide water, ensuring proper sanitation where necessary, visit schools, see how he can support public schools, see how he can even support with providing things like books, even school fees at some extent.
Governor Hyacinth Alia expressed appreciation for the initiative, noting that these vulnerable groups have endured trauma on multiple levels and any efforts to improve their conditions will make a meaningful impact.
With the wave and the new face of this insecurity, you know, mercenaries just coming in the front lines and then killing our people, we also need to up our strategy and our protective gear for the people.
In a related development, Governor Alia also pronounced the appointment of Innocent Idibia as a technical advisor on entertainment and community outreach. At the government house in Makurdi, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle, where News Cycle returns terrorists won't go unpunished. Modi vows after Kashim's attack. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Welcome back from that break, now from the world of business. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has assured investors that Nigeria is safe for investment. Edun says this at the Nigerian Investment Forum at the ongoing World Bank International Monetary Fund meetings in Washington, D.C. According to the minister, efforts are geared towards maintaining physical congress. The 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination has begun at various computer-based test centers in the Federal Capital Territory and other states of the Federation. The News Agency of Nigeria's correspondent, who monitored some of the centers in the FCT and its environ, reports that more than 2 million candidates would be writing the examination nationwide. The examination conducted by the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board is expected to come to an end on May 5th. At the Sascon International School CBT Center, candidates reported a smooth and hitch-free experience. Vice President Kashim Shettima is presiding over the 149th meeting of the National Executive Council at the State House, Abuja. Thursday's meeting, which has the River State Sole Administrator Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ekwe Ibas retired in attendance, is the first since President Bola Tinubu declared emergency rule in the oil-rich state. The last meeting of the council held in February 20th, during which the Nutrition 774 initiative was launched to combat malnutrition nationwide. The meeting began at about 12 noon after Shettima arrived at the venue, the council chamber of the State House, Abuja. 20 FRSC commander urges police to be proactive amid so many things happening. The Nigerian Customs Service says it recorded a total of 298 seizures, with a duty paid valued of 7.7 billion naira in the first quarter of 2025 as part of its sustained anti-smuggling effort. The Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, made this known while keeping journalists abreast of the operational activities of the service in Abuja. Business correspondent Kikelomo Okere takes it from here.
The Comptroller General of Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, says the 7.7 billion naira recorded marks a 78.41% increase compared to the fourth quarter of 2024, although it reflects a 19.7% decrease compared to the first quarter of the same year. It says the implementation of import duty exemption on key food items such as maize, rice, and wheat aimed at reducing the cost of food and easing the burden on Nigerians. He noted that rice remained the most frequently smuggled item, accounting for 159 seizures involving 135,477 bags, with a duty paid value of 930.9 million naira. Petroleum products followed closely with 61 seizures, totaling 65,819 liters, valued at 730 million naira.
Anti-smuggling and enforcement front, we maintained robust anti-smuggling operations during the first quarter of 2025, recording a total of 298 seizures with a duty paid value of 7,698,557,347 naira 67 kobo. This represents 78.41% increase compared to the 4,315,162,568 naira recorded in the last quarter of 2024, demonstrating heightened operational effectiveness.
On revenue performance, Adeni reveals that the NCX generated 6.58 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2025, exceeding the quarterly target of 106.47 billion naira. They highlighted that monthly breakdown indicates steady growth, saying January recorded 640.7 billion naira, surpassing its target by 1.3%. February brought in 540.8 billion naira, showing a 19.97% year-on-year increase, and March achieved 563.5 billion naira, exceeding its target by 2.7% and improving on March 2024 figure by 11.2%.
Was that we're working with other agencies of government to ensure that Nigeria is removed from the grey list of countries that are notorious for smuggling of currencies and other offenses that are related to cross-border movement of currencies. So during this quarter, we've had 3 major interceptions at airports, seaports, airports and borders generally. And in terms of the value of the interception that we've made, for dollar we had $1,264,900. For euro we have 117,660 euro. And for Saudi Arabia Riyadh we have 135,900. We've had 2 convictions this year alone.
Adeni reaffirmed the service commitment to the modernization, outlining plans to expand digital platforms, introduce advanced risk management system, and integrate new technologies across operations. This reform, he emphasized, are designed to enhance trade facilitation, improve revenue collection, and boost operational efficiency. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
And on the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says he has spoken with President Donald Trump about the conflict in Ukraine, noting that they plan to meet soon. President Cyril Ramaphosa praised Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during his first visit to South Africa for agreeing to an unconditional ceasefire in the war with Russia to pave the way for peace talk. Local officials says at least 9 people have been killed and more than 80 others injured, including children, in an overnight Russian missile and drone attack on 4 districts of Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said falling drone wreckage triggered a number of fires, and there are fears that a number of people may be trapped under the rubble of a destroyed residential building. The mayor said blasts were also reported in the northeastern city of Kharkiv, which also came under attack. At least 2 people were injured. And now from the world of sport, the Nigerian Premier Football League has slammed El Kanemi Warriors with 3.5 million naira fine, following crowd trouble during their matchday 34 clash against Ikorodu City in Maiduguri. The NPFL also ordered that their stadium be closed for fans for the rest of the season. This comes after El Kanemi Warriors supporters were found guilty of vandalizing the visiting team's vehicle and throwing objects onto the pitch during the match, describing this action as grave breaches of its code of conduct. Team Nigeria has confirmed participation in 4 events at the 2025 World Athletic Relays scheduled to take place in Guangzhou, China from May 10 to 11. The Athletics Federation of Nigeria announced on Instagram that the country's contingent will compete in the men's 4x100 meters, women's 4x100 meters, 4x100 meters mixed relay, and the newly introduced 4x100 meters mixed relay, making up 4 of the 6 events on the program. And as it on Global TV News Cycle, a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTVNG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thank you for watching.